Well, okay then. All right. Welcome back to JT Reacts. This is a different portion of my channel. Kind of talk about current events, stuff that's going on, and this is definitely very pertinent to where we live right now. This is about 45 miles as a crow flies. A lot of stuff like this. This is on a factory right here behind our development we live in. Luckily, no one was hurt except the barbed wire, but there's a lot worse out there, just north of us, northeast. North Carolina or northwest North Carolina, southeast Tennessee, just devastation, guys. So we're going to go through a little bit of that today. And just imagine if you were a truck driver. At least these people had the mindset to break out those top windows. The top point, I guess they were small enough to fit out those, or they just wanted to see, or I don't know, have an escape plan for the water. Because if your doors get too much water around them, you're not going to be able to open them. So I'm glad they had that plan. At least they must have been able to squeeze through that if they had to. But it looks like, well, let's just watch it. Total devastation. I couldn't imagine my truck or company truck having this come on you this quickly, because this was flash floods. This was probably your phone goes off with all those really annoying alerts, and then bam, here you go. You're in the middle of this. I wouldn't know where to begin. You'll see later in this video, people are kind of like, where do you begin? Where do you start at? Where do we go from here? Get the heavy equipment in there, start getting the mud out. But yeah, just having your whole, if that was my truck, that's my whole livelihood. That's my job. And right now, trucking's not doing very good. It's been hard for me. I have about over a month now I haven't worked because of how bad the truck industry is right now with everything going on. Then we have a port strike that started Monday. Today's Thursday. Today's Thursday. I did a little bit of this video Wednesday and Thursday. So we got all kinds of stuff going on. The port strike doesn't really help us out here. We have an inland port where a lot of the containers get on rail up here. So I don't think that helps the trucking for us. Like there's less product to move, and there's already little to none product to move anyway. So yeah, stuff like this. There's houses around here that have trees right through the middle of them. Prayers for all them people out here. Still don't have power. Generators sold out real quick. We actually went and bought one in Charlotte just to have one, bought two more for friends and family. Very blessed to have that, though, but our power came on really quickly, so we lent our generator we had for one of our neighbor's father. So just try to help where you can. A lot of people are doing helicopter runs. I saw Cletus McFarland actually is my neighbor using his helicopter to help up there. That's awesome. If you have access to that kind of stuff, that's so cool. But people stop and say hi. Yeah, so here we go a little bit more on this, but I don't know what this guy was doing. It looks like his back tandems, his trailer tires are still on the road. I don't know if he was trying to pass the Tundra or couldn't stop in time and tried to swerve to avoid him, but it ended up bad. Couldn't imagine that. At least he got out of his truck. He's sitting there waiting, but his truck's just floating. That's probably if he's loaded close to 80,000 pounds, 70,000 pounds, just floating. But he might have been empty going to pick something up. Who knows? But prayers for that man. And how'd that happen? He just veered off because a lot of people were making it through. And this right here, this is a distribution center. I've actually delivered here and picked up here probably 4 or 5 times. This is Black Mountain. It's kind of east of Asheville, 140. And so this little black area on the left side, that's where you have to sit in there and wait. They don't let you stay in your truck while they unload you. They make you wait in a little office, but they're pretty quick about it. They were good. You couldn't come in before the appointment. There's a big lot outside just to park at, but look at this, completely underwater. All those trucks, all those trailers. That is crazy. Looks like they're gonna be able to clean that up decently quick or easily, but I mean not easily. A lot of mud to move. But imagine being in this situation. These people have little or no notice. You'll see in a later video. They're kind of like waiting for it. Their phone probably got the notification, like a lot of other people did, and then you're going ahead and seeing this come up for you. So it's just crazy how quickly this came and what his escape route was to go somewhere else.
Oh, we're gonna go up in the attic. We have to, guys.
And then if you do go up in the attic, what if your whole house takes off like that one did right there? Just crazy, guys. I'm sure this is a manufactured home like we have at the lake. Just broke loose from the foundation, and now it's floating down the river.
Oh my God. You just don't even.
If you're wondering where this is all happening, we're in South Carolina, Greenville. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Just kind of reacting videos. I like to do it every now and then. But just current event stuff that's going on. This is, like I said, very close to us, but we are just below this. We have a lake that we actually lost a jet ski on. Imagine it wasn't easy to find. We were worried about it, thought it was gone. Looked for about 25 minutes throughout the whole, every cove we could on the right side and left side of the lake. In the very end, when we were about to go through the last couple coves and cut back across the bridge, we saw it and found it. But if your lake looked like this, you're not going to find it. I mean, we're going to walk on these logs to get out there to your pontoon. Just total devastation, guys. Just listen to what he says.
To know what to do. It's you came to try to help and figure out, okay, what's next now? And I mean, it's just too big. It looked to me like a lake that we've seen for many years, and my friends that live there have seen for their entire lives, and then their families' lives before that turned into something that looked like probably a bit of a dump to anyone just looking at it. But when you put your eyes on it, it's just it's these massive things that are out there, and there's so many of them. They seem small, and it's almost like imagining one when it was moving, it was a blender that was just taking out anything in its path, absolutely anything. And now that it's there, and you try to start fathoming what a cleanup and a recovery looks like, this is going to take years and years and years to even get to a place that's solvable.
It's so crazy how crazy that is. And then when they start letting the water out of the dam, imagine your pontoon, hard worked money, going over the bridge like this one did, going over the dam. That's just crazy. I'm sure a lot of other boats did too, went right with it.
Here it comes. Oh, God.
And now to go from losing your boat to not having access to, I've driven this road so many times, I-40 from Knoxville down to Asheville, and half the road's gone now. So how stable is the other side of the road? But this is just a small section of it. It's all closed now on Google Maps and Apple Maps, but this is what it looked like flying over a couple days later. Just the total devastation from the roads to all these houses. This is unprecedented. Hadn't had a flood like this forever, over 100 years, if that. No, their dams weren't probably the way they are now, or their flood control. So I can't imagine how they're feeling and what they're going through, and just a surprise of a lot of people. But just total devastation all around. So that scene right there kind of reminds me of the lake property. We were very blessed that our lake trailer didn't get hit at all. Nothing fell on the whole property. But people down the way weren't so fortunate and had a double tree like that kind of split off. That had went right down the side of their like smashed the car they just bought. So just crazy, guys, out here. And this is down here in Hartwell, Georgia, South Carolina border where that happened. And we're in Greenville, South Carolina down here.
My name's Winston Parrish.
You got the military stepping in there a little bit. That's nice. They already have them up there, but FEMA, I think, is getting up there eventually, but it's taking them a little bit of time right now. And this is Thursday when I'm talking about this right now. And here's just a little bit more, just talking about the total Asheville, which is hour and a half drive for me up the hill. And then it goes up into the west a little bit more and gets real bad. But this is where we've been plenty of times.
I'm the senior pastor at Trinity Baptist Church in Asheville. I'm also the chaplain for the Buncombe County Sheriff's Department. And today, as you heard from Assistant Director Cole, this is a biblical disaster, a biblical proportion. It is a catastrophic event, but now we're sad to report it is a fatal event.
I think they still have something like 1,000 people missing, and they have over 200 that are confirmed no longer with us, which is very sad. It's very sad, guys. How many people they're going to find over that just lived kind of out by themselves and got hit real hard, and there's nobody there to help them.
Our emergency crews are not just conducting rescues at this time, but they are also recovering people who have perished in this tragedy. We know that this is just the beginning of what has been and continue to be an awful and devastating natural disaster. But we cannot confirm the identities of those individuals at this time. We are still waiting to communicate with next of kin. And we can confirm this. They are our friends, they are our neighbors, and they are our loved ones. And no doubt for all of us, this is a sad moment for us to just take in a deep breath and realize that not only is there infrastructure that has been lost, but now there are lives that have been lost here in Buncombe County. This is a time for our county to come together, and we have to give our emergency personnel the respect that they need in this time to work. As you heard, we have to stay off the roads, and that's something that all of our community can respond to. And unless we absolutely have to get out, that we stay home and stay off the roads. It's a time for us to pray. If you are a praying person, this is the time to pray. You should pray for those that are in the shelter who have either lost a home or who are unable to go to their home. Pray for those who have lost friends and family. And then pray for the emergency responders that are working. Many of them have been awake for 24, 48, some of them 72 hours with just a few naps in between these rescues. And so we need to pray for them. And no doubt this is a time for us to come together as a community. And we must do everything that we can in our power to listen, to heed to the warnings. And we're still in a very difficult time. This is not the time for us to try to process everything. We have to process it day by day. And no doubt there will come a time where we will mourn those that are lost. And we'll keep you updated on more information with these folks that have lost their lives as it becomes available.
Loss of life, just total devastation. Look how high the water was in that low. It's to the bottom of the sign. No words for any of that. Just can't imagine going through that or being through that. I mean, we got a little bit of it here for the wind, but that flooding was just crazy. And this video right here is sad. I mean, I'm sure it's just a company who makes them. They lost one. It's not somebody in there. My son was watching this with me, and he says, "Somebody in there?" I'm like, "No," but just kind of a symbolic, sad portion. And they need a lot of prayers up there. So if you're a praying person, like he said, send some prayers over here to North Carolina and Tennessee and South Carolina. This before and after is a little bit crazy. Couldn't imagine that. Water was halfway up their wall. So this right here also is another big part of it. We lost power here. Some people are still out of power. There's probably 300,000, they said. There was 1.2 million in this area that were out, and now there's 300,000, a little bit over. We still gave our generator that we bought for, we only were out without power about half a day, a little bit over half a day. And once we got it, we gave our generator to our neighbor's dad. He's still using it. He still doesn't have power. People at the lake still don't have power. So all these electric vehicles for that period of time, you couldn't charge them, of course, but the gas stations even were super packed because people trying to get fuel for their generators and for their cars, just wondering if we were going to get restocked, anything like that. But this is, I guess, a problem. We might do a whole other video on this, is underwater exposure. If they're submerged, a lot of these EVs will explode. And so this is the video that you'll see the bike at the end. It exploded in the garage. Right there. That's kind of crazy. Just to see that, and I guess the cars have exploded too. I've seen Cybertrucks driving through flooding, and when there was some flooding in California, and just bursting into flames, and it's kind of like a pop explosion kind of fire. I don't know how that lithium. I don't know the science behind it. What happens there? But let me know in the comments if you know. But that's just crazy, and just makes you one more thing. You're like, okay, if I live in a flood area, do I buy an electric vehicle? I don't know.
This video was taken in Asheville, North Carolina 3 days ago, before the flooding, and you have 4 or 5 black bears 40 feet up a tree. This is looking biblical. They knew something big was coming, and then of course we had massive widespread flooding. Look at this. This guy was filming in East Tennessee, and a flash flood or a mudslide. Holy cripe-a-number, he's lucky to be alive. His car gets washed down the street, and houses go along with it. Here's the Tennessee Highway Patrol.
You see how fast it comes? Like, and that was just a little bit of water. That kind of still had a lot of power behind it, but a lot of it was like 5 foot, 6 foot waves of water. So that guy's lucky he didn't get swept down the hill. But just this whole area, all these farms and everything, completely underwater for a couple of days. Devastation.
Video from a helicopter of a bunch of farms that are pretty much completely destroyed at this point. I don't know. It's going to take a while to be able to start growing crops there again. This is very unfortunate. Now, this flooding from this hurricane blew so far inland. It's insane. It's never before seen. I don't know if flooding like this has been seen in the United States since the founding of the nation, really. Since gaining independence, I don't know, but I know that Appalachia is known to be so resilient and hardworking and self-reliant. Crazy that this hurricane would hit it so hard.
That's kind of a crazy part of it. Like those black bears in the trees are a crazy part of it also, but maybe they knew something, but you don't see them in the trees like that. But also, like he was saying, the mountains, it's hard for mountains to flood like that and for it to kind of go out like that. I mean, they have a lot of water escape routes for it, so that just seems kind of, you'll see it then, a little bit conspiracy theorist. We'll see, but Newport, Tennessee, delivered there plenty of times, picked up there plenty of times, and this is what it looks like now. I'm not sure if this right here is where T-Dubs and I had whitewater rafted this river. There's a little old electrical house right next to it. I don't know if this is the part right here. If I can't make it out, but just to see the power of that water right there, it's crazy. It was not that powerful when we went down there. Whitewater rafting. That just shows you right here. He gets up in a tree. He did not think that much water was coming. Praying he made it out alive. Oh, most likely he did, since we have this footage. This one right here hits me in the heart just for the children aspect of it, as well as the devastation. But at the very end, you'll hear him say, "Everything's gone," and just tragic. A lot of people lost everything. So he stays down, but she makes a dash up the stairs, and just grateful for the footage. And as well, I believe they made it out because we have the footage. But just how scary would this be? Look at the trees falling. Look how much power this water is bringing with it.
Get in the house. Your truck going?
She said, "As the truck's gone," and he screamed, "Everything is gone." And then this is Hendersonville. I picked up here a bajillion times for the juice area. Don't know if they made it out okay, if they're on the hill or what, but they are shipping loads out of that area right now. Just don't know how easy it is to get up there or get out of there. And they're telling you stay away from it, stay out of the roads unless you have to. So if they give me a load that needs to be out there, emergency relief, I'll take it, or take water bottles up there. But imagine just being in your house and just hanging out with your friends in the living room like this.
All right, we got to think about getting out of here because this is going to be.
Getting out of here.
James, you all right, bud?
Put them on your those are for you to take out. Because I'm
Couldn't imagine that. Just we got to think about getting out of here. Like, yeah, because nobody thought it was going to be that much water. 5 feet of water in your house, like, it's crazy, guys. And this is the road we take all the time back and forth to Atlanta, 85. Just devastation, trees falling. I don't think anybody was really deceased or injured on this one, but definitely a lot of damage. Just driving along, and all of a sudden, trees on top of your truck. Oh man, this guy, I don't know where this is filmed at, but the whole railroad underneath is washed out, of course, but very ballsy to just with that much power of water going below you and those couple railroad ties already falling down. He's probably balance beaming on that rail, but I don't know if I'd walk across this unless I had to get to the other side.
I grew up here. I lived here, 30 years basically. So on and off, and I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen devastation like this. It's been flooded before, but this is completely insane.
It started that Wednesday, pouring down rain. It rained Wednesday, Thursday, and she came Friday. So you can imagine all that rain, plus that wind.
Get all those trailers just thrown around like little rag dolls. I don't know if they were loaded empty or some of them were, some of them weren't, but imagine that you be in your trucking business. That's Estes. They're like a local company, a lot more local stuff, but still, just being up there at that time is a horrible time. And let me know if you know somebody that's been up there in the comments that was up there when this happened. That is just total devastation.
Everything she could move, she moved. That's some powerful water. That's some powerful water. We need more help, yeah. Whoever can come in and help, come in, because we need help.
Look at that little girl. Just had to go out the sunroof to get out. Nobody had any warning.
This flood.
You had warning in sense of the little alerts you got on your phone. We were getting alerts over and over again that night, as well as that morning, as well as kind of the next day even. Just more flooding could be occurring. But yeah, just prayers for everybody. We'll wrap this video on this one. This is the conspiracy theory. I did not know any of this information. I don't know if this is true. Let me know in the comments if what he's saying is true.
In North Carolina does not sit well with me. I think something's going on. So I decided to do some digging. So the first thing I find out is North Carolina has the richest deposits of lithium in the entire world. Yeah, lithium for like cars, batteries, all that. Then I find out they have the world's highest purity quartz deposits. And that quartz just so happens to be the world's supply for AI chips, microchips, and all kinds of stuff. We're talking a $530 billion industry. So this is where it gets interesting. So a company by the name of Piedmont Lithium is awaiting a state mining permit for a site in northern Gaston County. And Gaston County is completely flooded right now. The project was awaiting zoning approval because they were getting backlash from the residents and also city officials. And this lithium mine they want would be the third largest producer of lithium in the world. And they made a deal with Tesla already. Now remember the quartz? So in Spruce Pine, North Carolina, right next to Ashland, they are wanting to expand their mines even larger. And the residents aren't having it either. Enter the floods. People, these are mountain towns. It rarely, if not ever, floods in the mountains. I would know, I grew up in the mountains in Colorado, which means none of these people have flood insurance. I mean, the media is saying biblical devastation in North Carolina.
So there you go. Let me know what you think about that. I didn't know anything about that, so I don't know. I didn't know there was much. I knew there was quartz up there. I think I didn't know there was any lithium. But if they took people's lives for that, or whoever, if they can manipulate the storm, I don't know if you can do that. But maybe the technology is there. Who knows? But they can make the chemtrails, whatever stuff they do to manipulate the stuff. I don't know. But let me have your take on that. This actually is one of those trucks just goes by. They're the power linesmen. They're fixing all the lines around here. They stage their trucks back here, one of the companies, because Duke Energy's right in front of us. And then I don't know if there's extra surplus back there of another company, but they're working their butts off to get the power on down here. And a lot of guys are working their butts off to get up there to North Carolina and take care of everything that's going up there. So prayers for all those people, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about all this stuff. And God bless you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.